Hola, beautiful people. I'm on the move. I think I might have another day to go on the bus. It's a few days before I get to where I'm going. But I've been meditating as the bus has been moving, and this is important. Now, as you've probably seen from the build-up of information via my writing, the videos, things are coming together. Now, this is in furtherance of the end of phenotypical diseases. Now, I spoke previously about sickle cell, asthma. I'm going to continue in asthma and diabetes today. Now, asthma is a 100% completely generated disease, phenotypical generated disease, which means it's generated in the environment you're born into. It's not something you get from a genotype passed on via the genes. Now, how asthma begins: when you are born, as I said, they slap you on the butt. The breaking of your energy when they slap you on the butt causes stress on the nervous system and stress on energetic transfer and flow throughout the body via the neuronal firing. Then they do the test using the stethoscopes on your chest. Now, this stethoscope test to test for the heartbeat is completely unnecessary. When they put this cold stethoscope on the child's chest, it creates a stress on the vagus nerve. And this stress on the vagus nerve leads to a mucus buildup on the windpipe. This accumulative effect from that very first moment of entering the earth increases the possibility of asthma within children. And many children are developing asthma today specifically because of it. I developed exercises that can clear this mucus off the windpipe and clear the symptoms for asthma, which I've applied to quite a number of people, the last one being a person I met in Paris, and a lot of the symptoms have disappeared since they've been using the exercise I've given them to clear asthma. It's how I cured my asthma, and I had severe asthma as a young boy. Now, I'll continue with this a little bit. Now, diabetes. Now, just as before, doctors put proof to my words so the public listen and hear. When a child is born, the child is slapped, obviously, as I've said more than once. This creates an energy disturbance in the nervous system. Now, the nervous system has this thing called homeostatic equilibrium, which means that it's constantly moving around but keeping a stasis within the body. So chemicals are constantly changing, neuronal compositions or neuronal firing mechanisms are changing. How can I put it? The resonance within the system is constantly changing. Now, what they do, when the child is born, it comes off the placenta. Now, as it comes off the placenta, the baby's body has to re-stabilize, to re-regulate itself, because before, the mother, via the pancreas, did all the stabilism for the child within the womb. Now, what they do, they then, after doing the slap and the stethoscope test on the heart and on the back, which creates stress on the vagus nerve, they then do the pinprick. And they say the pinprick is for the diabetes. But the pinprick is completely unnecessary for a diabetes test, because you can just test the urine. The glucose in the urine, percentage glucose in the urine, says whether someone is a diabetic or not. Now, the fact that they do the pinprick is another stressor to the nervous system, and it's done on the fingers or the toes because it's the extremities of the nervous system. And if you can stress the extremities of the nervous system, you reduce blood flow to the extremities of the nervous system, and that causes further problems. Now, the reason why diabetes begins on this, because once you take a child off the placenta, obviously insulin production within that child has to re-stabilize, has to re-regulate itself. Doing this, creating further stress on the nervous system, the immune system, ensures that that child is not able to re-regulate itself, re-stabilize itself for a short period of time, for this homeostatic quality of the nervous system and the body to come back into effect. They then use this as an excuse. Oh, the child is diabetic, and they inject a chemical into this body, insulin. As soon as you inject a chemical into the body, the homeostatic nature of the body is affected. Thus, the body stops producing the chemical that's been injected into it, so there isn't too much. And the knock-on effect is quite obvious by now. The insulin in the body is reduced, the amount that's produced. And over a very short period, because it's done within the baby as it's born, the diabetes symptoms are generated. As for asthma, now there are many things in life that help impact asthmatic symptoms. One of them are the allergy symptoms they create within you because of the disruption to your nervous system. Now, disrupting your nervous system, disrupting the immune system causes slight responses to certain things. Now, these slight responses are only temporary initially, but because they then say to you, oh, this response means this, they give you a drug. This drug is what further complicates the responses you're having. And these drugs themselves have side effects. And these side effects thus lead to greater and greater allergic responses. But these are all phenotypically generated by the medical system. Now, as I've said, they've done this within sickle cell clearly, because none of the drugs in sickle cell are necessary. It's the side effects of the drugs themselves that cause the knock-on effects in sickle cell, leading to the person having earlier death, leading to the person having joint problems, muscular problems, because of the drug that they're having to take, because of this so-called disease. And it's not a disease at all, but a genetic adaptation. So now I've covered sickle cell, lupus, diabetes, asthma. Every single mental health disorder I've already covered in other pieces. There is no need for mental disorder. It's something that's generated in Western society on purpose. That should be enough. Now, doctors, as I've said, do the work necessary to put proof to my words, because this means, given all I've said, that billions of people are dying unnecessarily. Billions of people are being put through processes that create phenotypical disease. None of them are genotypical, passed on via the genes. Lastly, in continuance of autism, I said before that autism is not a disease of antiquity, and it isn't. Yet the medical name for autism, Asperger's syndrome, is a derivative of a word that does exist in antiquity, a word in Latin, asper. Spiritus asper, spiritus lenis. Spiritus lenis, breathing smoothly. Spiritus asper, breathing roughly. Or from asper, aspero, aspor, for breaking the breath, breaking the system, bringing something to a broken quality. Now, this is what they've done with autism. They've broken the nervous system, they've broken the breath, they've broken the smooth quality of the mind, the smooth quality of the body, the smooth quality of the immune system. And they've done this on purpose. It's not a coincidence they've used the word asper for Asperger's syndrome. Could it be? Anyway, so my beautiful people, heed thy words. Put them into practice. Come together and speak, because there are many things you need to do. As I said, not all doctors are involved. Those who are not are going to be putting proof to my words. Those who are, the list is being drawn up for their heads to roll. To another day.